Hello everyone. This video we'll be discussing the answers for homework, that is chapter 1 lesson 4, which is about pairs of angles. Uh, it's uh, it's gonna be a bit lengthy because there are many questions to be solved. If you would have solved, you will know. If you have not solved, please go solve and then check your answers. Just by watching a video, as I always say, you will not understand. Rather, it's better you learn, practice, and then solve it. So without further delay, let's start question number 1. Now, question number 1, they're saying angle PQR and SQR form a linear pair. Now, this word already you know, linear means they're angles on a straight line, right? So if I could draw how to show this, so this is going to be it. So they did not specify what kind of angles are they, so we could draw however we want. So they said here angle PQR and SQR are linear. So from the word linear itself, you need to understand what kind of uh, angles they are. So these are angles on a straight line. So find the sum of their measures, means when you add up these two angles, how much is the total of the measure of the angle going to be? As you know, when you have the word linear, means it's a straight angle. So the sum of the angles is going to be 180 degrees, because the angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. It's easy, but you need to concentrate and highlight the words which are important, which they have already given. Linear pair means angles on a straight line, so the sum of the two angles are going to be 180 degrees. Name the ray that PQR and SQR share. So these are two angles, PQR and SQR. If you would remember, in the lesson I taught you a easier way to find out rather than drawing. How do you find out which is the common ray between two angles? Just look at these letters here. Which letter is common? Here we have PQR and here we have SQR. So of course QR and QR is common, which means QR is the ray which both of them are sharing. So it's going to be ray QR. Don't forget the sign which will be on top. So this is how easy it is, only that you have to remember the small tips and tricks which we are learning during the class. So moving to question number 3, use the figures for exercise 3 and 4, supplement of Z. Now supplement means 180, complement means 90 degrees. So this is going to be 180 minus 42.1, right? So that's going to give you 180 minus 42.1 is going to give you, if I would do it, you don't need to always do it because you're perfect in mental math, you don't need to do. So this is going to be 10 and this will become 179. So this is going to be 7, 3 and 1. So 137.9 degrees. So angle 3, the answer for question number 3 is 137.9 degrees. Just that you have to subtract the angle given to find the remaining angle, means they have given this part of the angle is 42.1, we have to find the remaining part, that's all, right? Complement of angle y. So complement, when you hear the word complement, means that's going to be 90 degrees. So angle y is 88x minus 20. So what are we going to do? We are going to write it as 90, right, minus 8x minus 20 degrees. So 90 degrees minus 8x minus 20. Now I hope you remember that I told you you need to remove the parenthesis. So to remove the parenthesis, as always, there is an invisible one here. So you need to multiply each of the numbers inside the parenthesis. So if you multiply it like that, you're going to get 8x, 1 multiplied by 8x is 8x, and negative 1 multiplied by negative 20 is going to give you a positive 20. Negative into negative is positive. You are well aware of the rules now. So what you're going to do here, you have to just solve the numbers. So here we have 90 plus 20, that will give you a 110, and 8x is alone because we cannot add or subtract a number with a variable. So it's going to be 110 minus 8x degrees. So the complement of angle y is 110 minus 8x. Okay, now comes a little bit complicated question. Not complicated. If you get the question right, definitely the answer is going to be right. The angle measures 12 degrees less. So this word less means minus. You already know this. Than 3 times. So 3 times means multiply by 3. We have done many questions like this during the class. So if you do not understand, you can refer to the previous video, right? So an angle measures 12 degrees less than 3 times its supplement. Here again they said supplement, which is going to be 180 degrees. Find the measure of the angle. So this is how you need to decode. You have to translate a mathematical sentence into numbers this way. So how do we start? We always start by saying let angle A equal x degrees, right? So if angle A is equal to x degrees, so angle B is going to be 180 minus x, right? That's because it's supplementary. So 180 minus x. Now first let's write the value for x, right? So that's going to be x equals, now we are going to write the number. So that's going to be they said 3 times, so we write multiplication first. 3 times 180 minus x, because this we are finding the supplement, right? The other part. Then they said 12 degrees less, so minus 12. So how did I get this? I already read in the question. I highlighted the important parts, and then I have to put them in a sentence properly, in a math sentence properly. So first I said let angle A be x, because we don't know both the angles, so we have to find an angle. And then let the supplement of that be 180 minus x. So according to the question, they said it is 3 times and 12 degrees less. So let's solve this. This is going to be 540, because you need to multiply each of them inside. So 3 multiply 180 is to 540 minus 3x minus 12. So first let me solve the numbers first. Leave the x on the side. 540 minus 12, that is going to give me 528 minus 3x. So now what will happen? The x will move to the other side. So that will become x plus 3x is equal to 528. And 4x equals 528. X is going to be equal to 528 divided by 4. So that's going to give you x is equal to 132. So the value of x is going to be 132. Now that we have found the value of x, we need to find the value of its supplement. Or rather, the question says, okay, the question says find the measure of the angle only. They did not say find the supplement. They said only find the measure of the angle. So the angle measure is going to be 132 degrees. So angle A is going to be equal to 132 degrees. Now, if the question says find the measure of the supplement, then you will do 180 minus 132. I also told you during the class, be careful. If the question says only find the measure, just find only the number, that's only the angle, the value of x only. But if the question says find the measure of the complement or measure of the supplement, then you will subtract 180 from the value of, you might subtract x, the value of x from 180. The question here says only the measure of the angle, no supplement, no complement. So you just find the value of x. So that is 132 degrees. Fine. Let's move on to question number 6. An angle is its own complement. Okay, now this question is quite confusing because they did not say it is twice or thrice or is it something less. They didn't say anything. Rather, they said an angle is its own complement. What does this mean if an angle is its own complement? We could say, first let's start by saying, let the measure of angle be angle B X. Okay, so once we select the angle BX, that means now they're talking about its own complement. So how much do complements angle add up to? Complementary angles, they are adding up to 90 degrees, right? So which means if I add two angles, that is X plus X, that should give me 90 degrees. This is only because they did not give us any proof. They did not give us any measurements. Rather, they said an angle is its own complement. Own means by itself, it's a complement, which means there are two angles by which when you divide, there are two angles which you add will give you 90, but they did not say us what is the measure of one angle. So in such cases, we do something like this. So x plus x is 2x, which is equal to 90 degrees. So x is going to be equal to 90 degrees divided by 2. So x is going to be equal to 45 degrees. Okay, now we found the measure of one angle. This is only one angle. But the question says find the measure of a supplement. First they said it's complement, now they're saying supplement. So using this, an angle is its own complement, means when there are two angles, when you add them up, that gives you 90. So to find that what are the measure of those two angles, we found out that it is 45. Now that we found that one of the angle is 45, find the measure of the supplement. So how are we going to find the measure of the supplement? So that's going to be 180. Let me write it here. Measure of supplement is going to be 180, because supplementary is 180 minus 40. Oops. Why did the minus go up? Okay. 180 minus 45 degrees. So that's going to give me a 135 degrees. So this is how you have to solve when they say it is its own complement. Then find the measure of the supplement. Okay, now let's move on and look at another question. This is question number 7. Okay, angle DEF and FEG are complementary. So highlight the words and immediately write down the numbers which they are telling you. So this is 90 degrees. Angle DEF is this much and angle FEG is this much. Find the measure of both angles, which means when you add angle DEF and FEG, that should give you 90 degrees because both of them are complement. So let's write an equation first. The measure of angle DEF plus the measure of angle FEG should equal to how much? It should equal to 90 degrees. Now what's the measure of angle DEF? That's 3x minus 4. Then what is the measure of angle FEG? That should be 5x plus 6, which should give you 90 degrees, right? This is degrees and this degrees. Now first let's solve this. On this side, the equation on this side, we simplify that. So 3x plus 5x. So 3x plus 5x, you can nail it. It's 8x. Then minus 4 plus 6. Now minus 4 plus 6 will give you a plus 2. Is equal to 90 degrees. What's the next step? Move the number to the other side. So that will become 90 minus 2. So that means that's going to give you an 88. So you can find out the value of x. X is 88 divided by 8, which is going to give you x is equal to 11. So always remember, when they have given you variables like this and they ask you to find the measures of the angles, find out the value of x first. You must find out the value. Only then you can find the measure of both the angles. So now we have found out the value of x, we can easily find out the measure of the other angles. So the measure of angle DEF is going to be equal to 3x minus 4 degrees, which means it's going to be 3 multiplied by 11 plus 4. So this is going to be 33 plus 4, which is going to give you a 37 degrees. Okay, now to find angle FEG, there are two ways. I have taught you both the ways during the class. Okay, now either you can substitute. Okay, before I substitute here, I did a mistake. It is minus, so I don't know. Happens. Okay, this is minus, so this is going to be 33 minus 4, which is going to be 29 degrees. All right, now to find the other part of the angle, we can either substitute the value of x in place of this, or simply you have another method, that is, both of them are complementary, so you can subtract it even from 90. So you can use any one method. So by substitution, what are you going to do? You will just replace angle FEG, they gave us as 5x plus 6 degrees, which means the value of x is 11 plus 6, it's plus, right? Yes. 55 plus 6, that's going to give you 61 degrees. So the measure of angle FEG is 61 degrees. Else you can do is, that both the angles add up to 100, both the angles are complementary, so they add up to 90 degrees. So you could say measure of angle FEG plus 29 degrees, that is the measure of angle DEF, is equal to 90 degrees, which means measure of angle FEG is going to be equal to 90 degrees minus 29. So that's again going to give you 61 degrees. So the measure of angle FEG is also going to be 61 degrees as well. So either you use this method or you can use this. However, both of them will give you the same answer. Fine. Let's move to question number 8. Now again, they have asked you to find the measure of both angles. Now always remember, when they ask you to find measure of angles and if there are variables, you have to find the value of the variable first. So to find the value of the variable, we need an equation. These are the simple basic rules of math. To find the value of a variable, we need an equation. So to write an equation, we have to get it from the question. So angle DEF and FEG are supplementary. So this is the keyword given. Supplementary means it is 180 degrees. So which means when you add both the angles, that should give you 180. So let me write the formula first. Let me write the equation. Not formula, equation. Angle DEF plus the measure of angle FEG should give us 180 degrees. Now DEF is 9x plus 1, right? So let's write it as 9x plus 1 degree plus FEG is 8x plus 9 degrees, which is also equal to 180 degrees. Okay. So first let's solve this side of the equation. So we have 9x plus 8x. 9x plus 8x will give us 17x. First, always simplify any side of the equation. If there are more numbers or variables, simplify them first. Then 1 plus 9 will give us 10, which is going to be equal to 180. 17x is going to be equal to 180 minus 10. Always the best way to do math fast is talk to yourself. So 17x is going to be equal to 170. X is going to be equal to 170 minus 17, which is going to give you x is equal to 10. Okay, so 170 divided by 17 is 10. So x is going to be equal to 10. Now that we have found the value of x, we are almost done with the question. We have almost finished half of the question. In fact, finding x is half of the question. So let's substitute the value of x in place of the value of these angles to find the value of the angles. So this is going to be 9x plus 1. This is going to be 9 multiplied by 10 plus 1. So that's going to be 90 plus 1, which is going to give us a 91 degree. Okay, so angle DEF is 91 degrees. Now that we have found one part of the angle, for the other part of the angle, either you substitute or you subtract that from 180. You can do anyway, either way. You either substitute or you subtract it. So I think I will use the substitution part because I don't know, maybe most of you are using this method. I feel that you might use. So let me do it by substitution. Anyhow, the answer you're going to, either if you substitute or subtract, the answer is going to be same. So this is going to be 7. Why did I write 91? The value of x is 10. So x is 10. That means it is 80 plus 9, which is going to give you 89 degrees. Or even if you subtract 180 from 91, the answer is going to be 89 degrees. So however you find, your answer has to be 89 degrees. Hopefully you have understood all these questions and the methods to do them. As you know, this is math and you will have different questions everywhere. It's not going to be the same. So if you know the basic part, what to do, how to do it, then definitely even if the questions go up and down, that doesn't matter. Okay, in 2004, we are going to use this figure for these two questions. In 2004, several nickels were minted to commemorate the Louisiana Purchase and Louis and Clark's expedition into the American West. We have no idea what this is. That's about American history, I guess. One nickel shows a pipe and a hatchet cross to symbolize peace between the American government and native tribes. Okay, yes, this is part of their history. Okay, so name a pair of vertical angles. So they want you to name a pair of vertical angles. In fact, there are two pairs. So up to you. They just asked a pair, which means one. So you can write two, both. It's okay. But as they said one, I will show you both. You can write any one. Now, vertical angles, as I said, they are in the shape of V and they are facing each other. It's like their noses are together. The nose of the angles are together. So which angles could we say that they are in shape of V and opposite? So we can say this is in the shape of V. So which is the opposite angle for this? Angle 1. So we could say angle 1 and angle 3 are a pair of vertical angles. Or there is another pair too. We could say angle 2 and angle 4. And if you see, they are in the shape of V also, with the noses together, right? So angle 2 and angle 4 are also a pair of vertical angles. Simple, right? Name a linear pair of angles. Now this word linear means in a line. Many times we have repeated the meaning of this word linear, right? Linear means they're angles on a straight line or the angles which are like straight. So name a pair. Or again, there are two pairs of linear angles. So let's write, I will write both. You can write anyone because they said So linear means it should be straight. Straight like that. So it is angle 3 and 4. Or it can be angle, which angles? Angle 1 and 2 also, because they are also straight. See, they're straight. Both these angles are straight. In fact, they both make up a straight angle. So that's why we call it a linear pair of angles. So angle 1 and angle 2. So this is your answer for question number 9 and 10. It's easy, just like you need to observe the picture, that's all. Let's move to question 11. Angle ABC and CBD form a linear pair. Now again, linear pair means they're angles on a straight line. So they can be kind of angles like this, right? And have equal measures. So both of the angles have equal size. They both are of the equal size. So how much is the measurement of an angle on a straight line? The angles, that's a linear pair of angles, they make up 180 degrees. They are linear pair. Now, if they are to get the equal measures, which means they have to be divided equally in two parts. So if I divide this into equal two parts, what is this each angle going to be? Equal two parts means we are going to divide this with 2. So what's that going to give you? That will give you 90 degrees, right? So which means this angle is 90 degrees. This angle is also 90 degrees. So let me name this so that it will be more clear for you. This is angle AB, C and CBD. So ABC and CBD. So tell if Angle ABC is acute, right, or obtuse? ABC, is it acute or obtuse? All right, this is 90 degrees, which means it has to be a right angle, because you know a right angle measures exactly 90 degrees. So that means it is going to be right. Because they said equal measures, equal means both the angles are equal. So 180 divided by 2 will give you 90 each, which means they both each makes a right angle. It's always easier if you put that in a picture. I have also told you several times, draw a picture so that the figure will be clear. See, once you draw the picture, you know what it looks like, rather than just thinking from your mind what kind of picture it's going to be. Moving to question number 12. Angle KLM and MLN are complementary. Now, when they say complementary, you know it is a right angle because it's 90 degrees, right? You know, complementary means 90, so it's going to be a right angle. All right, so they said KLM and MLN. So let me first name this, which is the common point for both. It's L. All right, then LM, that is line ray LM bisects KLN. So let me draw this for you. Okay, so they are saying LM is bisecting KLN. What does this word bisect means? Many times we have repeated, bisect means divide in two equal parts. So there's a line which is dividing this in two equal parts. Okay, no, that's all I can draw. I cannot move it. I don't know, it doesn't want to move. Okay, it's not perfect. All right, so first let's name these angles and the ray. So this is going to be ray LM, right? And KLN. KLN, and this is ray ML. So the angle is KLN, and then ML is bisecting. Bisecting means it's dividing both the whole angle in two equal parts. Fine. So what is the question? Find the measure of KLM. KLM and MLN. So as you know, this is complementary. Complementary means it is 90 degrees. And if this line is dividing the angle in two equal parts, what does that mean? That means angle KLM plus angle KLM and angle NLM should give you 90 degrees because they are complementary. Now they said it is bisected, right? Which means if this is x, this is x, it's going to be 2x plus uh, divided by 90. So simply we can also say, because it's bisecting means it's dividing in two equal parts. So dividing in two equal parts means 90 divided by 2, which is going to give you 45 each. So angle KLM is also going to be 45 degrees and MLN is also going to be 45 degrees. Now you don't need to do it this in this much detail if you would have understood the question well. The question says it is bisecting. Always remember, bisecting means it's dividing the angle in two exact parts. So if it is complementary, if it is 90 and if it's dividing in two equal parts, that means it is each angle is 45 degrees each. I drew this so that you can understand that better. Now that was the homework. It was easy, but yes, it does take some time and some thinking too. All right, so think well before you do the question and finalize the answer. Comment and let me know how many of you have got all the answers right. It's all right to make mistake, as I always say. Even I am making mistakes. You can openly see that even I make mistakes. Sometimes it happens. Man makes mistakes, of course, right? So hopefully we'll meet again in another video, but do comment and let me know who all write the answer, who all got the answers right. So until then, keep learning math and keep practicing.